pretty good.
Not bad.
That's pretty good.
Not bad.
I mean, you want to do a zoom in on that? I know.
I can't.
I know.
believe it.
All right, let's do this. What's up, everybody? Tiank here with Soya Quilting, and today we have a very special guest, Emily with Laurastar irons, and she's going to show us how we set up our brand new irons.
I'm so glad to be here today. You've been able to play with the Laurastar for a couple months now, and I think everybody's really enjoying it. So we've got a brand new Esprit Extra we just took out of the box.
Love it.
So let's go over a little bit of maintenance, filters, water, just getting set up, and whatever questions you've got for me, I'm here to answer all of those.
And the best thing about this too is that, guys, this is a brand new iron, so when you guys purchase your irons, you know exactly what it's supposed to look like, right? We just pull it out of the box, and these kind of just pop up, which is fantastic. So we love that. So now it's going into the how we get started and the maintenance, so I love it.
So the great thing about the Laurastar is we have a really large capacity removable water tank. Okay, we do use regular tap water. If you've got a well or a water softener, we're gonna use a bottled spring water, okay? But either way, you're not gonna be filling it over and over.
So just recap there. Well, no-go, and a...
If you've got a well, it's too many minerals, and if you've got a water softener, too much salt.
Okay, so water softener, wells, and you know that, if that's you.
Yep.
If not, just normal bottled water or
Bottled
tap.
spring water,
Love
yep.
it.
So because we use the minerals in the water, we wanna keep the good ones in and take the bad ones out. So we always use a charcoal filter in all of our systems. This is my Esprit Extra, so I've got loose granules. We're gonna show you how to do that in just a moment. If you've got a top of the line smart system, we're gonna have a removable cartridge. And for the lift, we've got a removable cartridge as well. So we're gonna go over all of those.
Well, and also, since we've had some here already, we can show you what the filter looks like in a couple of months when they have to be changed. So
when it's
that's
time
great.
to change it, yes. Right in here, I've got my liner, and I've got my reservoir to hold the loose granules. So I'm gonna remove that cap here and just set this to the side. Okay, if you
I'll
hold
hold
that.
it.
So the granules can make a mess, so just kind of watch what you're doing. I'm just gonna cut the corner of those granules, and I'm gonna try really carefully to keep them poured into the reservoir so they don't float around when we put water in it. All right, they can be a little staticky. I like the full smart cartridges, but this is a great option on the Esprit Extra. Okay.
Well, and I mean, there's space in there. It's not a hard pour by any means. And then just a little shake and you're good.
Yep, and I'm gonna make sure this gets clipped in really tight, and I'll put a little bit of pressure there.
Yeah.
And I think that looks pretty good.
Well, obviously you would have to have a really nice hold there, or else those grains would come back out, right?
Yes.
So liner back in.
Liner back in. Will you do the honor of pouring the water into the reservoir?
You like our soya mineral water here?
I think it's pretty great.
And so it's gonna take a couple bottles, right?
It's gonna take a couple bottles. A couple things to note right when you're getting set up, okay? That water is not going to immediately go through here. I don't need to wait until it's at the bottom, and I don't need to wait until it goes through the filter.
Gotcha.
Because when I turn on my system and put the water tank in place, that boiler is gonna draw the water in.
Gotcha.
Okay, and absolutely, this water is gonna go into the boiler. It's gonna immediately ask for more water.
Yeah.
Let's turn the system on.
Okay.
And I'm gonna talk about two of our features to keep it on or to have the security or override it. It's a secret.
Okay.
It's not in the manual.
Okay.
Okay, read your manual.
Of course.
But you've also got these great video resources for you to get set up. But the next feature I'm gonna show you is a secret. It's not.
Love it.
And it's gonna come in and set on top of this boiler. Standard way to turn this on, I'm just gonna press the power button. When I turn it on and just press the button one time, it's gonna take about 8 to 10 minutes for that water to heat up and create steam. After 10 minutes of inactivity, I've got a great security feature. It's gonna automatically shut off.
Love it.
Great safety feature, but for quilters, we want this to be on all day long. Okay, so here's what I'm gonna do. When I turn it on, I'm gonna press and hold the power button for about 10 seconds. What I'm gonna be looking for on the Esprit Extra on this model is for this white light to flash.
Okay.
Once that light flashes, I know I've overridden the automatic shutoff. It will stay on until we turn it off.
Love it.
On the Smart U and the Smart 1980 and the Smart I, I'm gonna see a red flashing light, a little water drop underneath the fan speed.
Love it.
And that's how I know I've overridden the automatic shutoff.
And they all kind of have that same feature, right? Is that you hold the button, something different will happen on your little light system, and then it will override the system, which is great. So that way it's not shutting off every 10 minutes. Or on these irons, it's 15?
10 minutes of
10
inactivity.
minutes.
What's really nice is that if you want to be more secure, that water in the boiler is very hot. It's not gonna immediately cool down. So if I come back at the 11th, 14th minute, if I turn that back on, it's gonna be ready almost instantly.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, makes sense.
So, do we want to see it real quick on the lift of how that works?
Yeah, let's do it.
We did mention it's going to be pretty similar for all of our models. So our lift products and our system products have the ability to override and keep that iron on all day long. When I turn this on, I'm going to press and hold the power button here on the lift, and I'm going to wait until I see these lights flash red. Okay.
Yeah.
Once I see those lights flash red, I know I've overridden the automatic shut off. We're gonna come back to the lift and talk more about cartridges and water. Let's show them what the filter is gonna look like when it's time to change.
Love it.
All of the systems have that large capacity removable water tank.
Yep.
And we need those charcoal granules or the charcoal cartridge to keep the good things in, take the bad things out.
Correct.
Okay.
Got it.
Each filter is gonna last you about 3 to 6 months. This is what it's gonna look like when it's time to change the filter.
We need a side-by-side probably.
Okay.
Well, let's pull that out so you guys can see the side-by-side.
This is gonna beep. Okay, you haven't heard this.
Yeah.
You haven't heard
it
this
beeps a
yet,
lot.
have you?
Yeah, I've heard it. It beeps at you guys. It beeps at you.
You want me to turn it off?
Yeah, please.
Typically, whenever it's time for me to change the water or add more water or change anything in this, I just quickly turn it off because I can turn it back on and I don't have to listen to the beep.
Yeah.
But here's what a brand new filter is gonna look like, or those granules.
So it's like,
Charcoal blue.
yeah, I was gonna say that all the granules get poured in the kind of a bluish color, but once they're wet, they kind of go a little bit more blackish color. And then it goes to,
I call it a gold and brown amber.
I was going to say it looks like honey.
So if there are some flecks of charcoal left, I still have life in my filter.
So flex, I mean, you can see black or blue,
Yeah.
you're fine.
Yep. No reason to change it if it's half brown or honey, right?
Yeah, no, this one's all
exhausted.
honey. It's definitely honey.
And we're gonna change this, okay?
I love it. For this particular model, which is the top of the line, we're going to just pull the whole cartridge out. It comes out just like this, no granules at all, and then you're going to just pop out a new one. This thing is,
Okay. I've done this a few times. I need scissors. You might need scissors.
that's a pretty good side by side. And obviously, guys, there's still water in this because that's what it's been sitting in. But nice side by side comparison there. Good, bad. If it at all looks like this, you're still good. If it looks like this, you probably ran out of time a long time ago. And so now we're going to just dump this back in there. I want to say it goes that way.
So
that one.
we're just gonna place it in, right? Because with the cartridge, I replace and remove, the granules will be dumped. But this is pretty convenient on our top systems.
Absolutely. Well, and due to this being just a charcoal filter as opposed to any other chemicals, right into the trash can. Makes that simple.
Good thing to note too, like it's not any kind of toxic thing. Obviously, I'm not gonna eat these granules, but if something comes loose,
Yeah.
you're
Well, I mean,
fine. It's safe.
hypothetically speaking, it's clean water at the other side of this.
Yeah, just don't eat the stuff.
Just don't eat the
We don't have
stuff,
to say that, but
right? I mean,
we do. We had to say it.
So the little guy, also cartridge-based filter, but you can't see him.
Yes, absolutely. So don't do that.
Oh.
Okay,
No.
there's a reason I'm here.
Yes, exactly.
Okay, so this cartridge is also replaceable. I don't have to pour anything in. That cartridge is gonna snap right into this removable water tank. So when I begin, I'm gonna pop that filter in.
Okay.
And same thing, that water is gonna be pulled into the boiler the first time I use it.
Yep.
It's gonna immediately ask for more water. So when the filter is exhausted, this light is gonna flash right here. Okay, it's a button that I'm also gonna press because when I pop this out and put a new one in, I'm gonna press that filter button for about 10 seconds to notify the lift that I've changed the filter.
Got it. So it's just a reset button, and then it counts, I'm guessing, time on or...
How much time is steamed.
Okay,
Yep.
So that makes it simple. But that's a pretty simple way to do it.
The most important thing I'm gonna share with you today.
Don't take the top off.
No, yeah, don't take the top off. But the next thing I'm about to share is the most important tip for care and maintenance. Okay, because the Laurastar creates that really dry, powerful steam. Right?
Yep, love it.
That steam isn't going to spit or drip in my fabric. It's not going to shrink or distort my quilt block. It's not going to burn our hand. Okay? But we want to keep this steam fine and dry for a long time. So one thing I'm going to share is just kind of a natural science tip, right?
Okay.
That water goes into the boiler, heats
Okay.
to a really high temperature, comes through the hose, and is heated a second time as it exits the iron.
Okay.
That's why it's so fine and dry. If I'm at my sewing machine for a little while or we're just chatting, that steam is going to cool and settle and turn into condensation.
Yep.
So I have to flush my iron or give it a burp, right?
Yeah.
So I'm going to burp that iron
Love it.
before I come to my project.
Love
Okay?
it.
But if you're doing that and you're still getting, if your iron is still spinning,
Yeah.
right? When I ask them if they're doing the monthly maintenance, They say no one told me that.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're here to tell you to do your monthly maintenance.
I don't like the term monthly maintenance because it sounds like it's going to be long and intensive and all
Super
that.
simple.
But it's like, probably what, 10 minutes or less?
Less than that. So here's what we're gonna do. Okay, we have to say when this is cold. So this is the lift, and then I'll go through the system next. When this is cold, we're gonna do a little dance with our lift.
Yep.
Okay, we're gonna take it to the sink, and I'm gonna grab a quarter or a screwdriver. This tab right here is what I always ask people if they're doing their monthly maintenance and they've never seen this before. So I'm gonna pop that silicone tab up, grab a quarter, and I'm simply gonna empty the water. I don't need to put anything else through here. I just wanna empty that water once a month. It takes just a moment. I wanna do that when it's cold, right? Because it's
if not, then it's hot.
and it's pressurized and not safe. So that's a really simple monthly maintenance here. Important thing, I'm not talking about emptying the tank. I am talking about emptying the boiler, okay? So you're gonna get this when you get your system. This is not packaging. This is something really important, so don't throw it out. Okay, so this is gonna rest underneath my boiler here when this is cold. I'm gonna unscrew the cap and all the water is gonna empty out. This one I do need to do one more thing, right? Because on the lift we kind of shook it up. This cap here is also gonna be removed. The lid here, I'm gonna remove this part, and this becomes a funnel, and I'm gonna fill this with fresh water up to the max line. This is gonna sit right on top of here, and I'm not gonna do it because it's not open, but that's gonna sit right on top, and fresh water is gonna flow out through here.
Just making sure that you're not getting any buildup, anything like that happening, which you shouldn't anyways because of the iron of how it is. But everyone's water's different throughout the country. You have different minerals, different deposits in there. Flush it out once a month.
I want to prevent mineral buildup so that the iron stays having the finest, driest steam.
Everything has maintenance. Even your brand new sewing machines have maintenance. If you went to the store and bought an iron from Walmart, you're supposed to be doing maintenance too. Do you? Maybe not, but you're supposed to, right?
I think when we think about what the investment is, right? Because I certainly don't do the maintenance on my coffee maker. That probably needs the same thing. But my coffee maker didn't cost what the Laurastar does.
Do you do your maintenance on your coffee maker?
Every week.
I know.
I don't believe that. Really important, and I'm glad to have shared that with you. Do you have any more questions for me?
So, a couple more questions here for you. Let's do the actual top. Okay, I'm assuming it will get stained eventually.
Oh, right?
The actual ironing board gets stained, guys. Just like any other ironing board.
So what's really nice is all of the Laurastar board covers are machine washable.
Easy.
Okay, I can tumble them and put them in the dryer. These are I've got nice layers of foam that are gonna mean I don't get that great burn through my dark fabrics, and I have a nice cushion here. But I can wash those, and they're also replaceable. We have a lot of options. So if you start off with your S Pure Extra here that has this beautiful lavender cover, if you wanna keep replacing it and getting the same light cover, go for it. If you wanna try a darker color, we've got some other options, and we also have our smart black cover that has lines built into it. So find what works for you. I personally have had my system for 4 years now, and the cover still looks brand new because it's a darker cover, not showing those stains.
Well, and again, that's personal preference, but I love the option of that. If you don't mind having the lines in it, just wash it and slap it back on. You'll be good for another run, which is not the same in all your, this is not advice for your ironing system right now at home. Don't do that because it'll probably just shred to pieces. We've tried that before and it does not work very well. So I love that feature of this. So if it is spitting though, let's go into that. If the iron is spitting, which it's not supposed to be, but it can, right? Because we are pushing water through it. It's condensation in the actual hose there. How do we get it out? And if it's spitting more frequently than it should, do we just run it longer? Well, what's the...
Brand new irons might need a little bit of water run through it for maybe a week. Sometimes, in rare cases, we recommend that you run it for 1 single week without the filter.
Okay.
That way everything in the boiler gets coated with whatever minerals are in the water to kind of keep it running. But that burp that I talk about is just maybe 1, 2, 3 every single time before I press.
Gotcha.
To keep that flush. And then that maintenance, that just emptying the water, is going to prevent any spitting in the future. You're going to see as your iron ages. If you've maintained and cared for it, you should be the same throughout. But I've seen some classroom models that have been loved a lot, and they're going to need to be purged and burped just about every single time. If I've got a stack of quilt blocks here and I'm pressing, I don't need to burp in between every single block. But if I go to my sewing machine with that block, with that stack of blocks, and I do the next seam, I'm gonna want to kind of just get in the habit of routinely flushing that.
Yeah, if you have a little bit of spitting, just purge it out, 1, 2, 3, and then be done with it. So I like that. That makes it easy.
Yeah.
Is there any other maintenance tips and tricks we should know about?
Well, you know, this is really rare because Laurastar does have a less than 2% warranty return rate, which I think is pretty phenomenal. But right out of the box, if your plate's not heating, that's gonna mean you're not gonna get that fine steam.
Yeah.
So give us a call directly and we'll get you set.
Yeah. These irons are incredible, okay? We've been using them only since just before Christmas, right? And so we've had a good amount of time on them and have loved them. They are just exceptional products. But with anything like that, you have to do some maintenance, which is the whole point of this video. And if you guys have liked this video, hit the like button, subscribe to the channel if you're new, and don't be afraid to share it with your friends. And as always, guys, all of our information, as always, guys, all of our information is free to you. So if you're, wow, that thing's really doing that. And as always, guys, all of our information is free to you. Wow, that thing really likes that, doesn't it?
I'm doing it on purpose.
Oh, are you? There's a button here?
Wait, are you going to be interrupted again?
Maybe, I don't know. I'm waiting for it to keep it going.
I want to interrupt you.
Love it. And as always, guys, all of our information is free to you, and this is a great video to watch if you are thinking about Laurastar. With that, guys, huge shout out to Emily for being here today and the whole Laurastar family, and we'll see you next time here at Quilting.